In this video, we are going to see the different solar radiation measuring instruments. And before entering into the solar radiation measuring instrument, let us see some important terms, that is irradiance and insolation. Irradiance is actually the flux of radiation per unit area. It is measured in the unit of watts per meter square. How much radiation is there per unit area? That is irradiance. And the second term is insolation. This is also related to the radiation. So that is the amount of solar radiation reaching the given area. The amount of solar radiation means it will be in terms of joules. It tells the energy. So amount of solar energy receiving per area, that is the difference. Irradiance will be in the unit of watts per meter square. Insolation will be in the unit of joules per meter square. Sometimes insolation per unit area per unit time also given. For example, if insolation per day is expected, the unit will be joule per meter square per day. Then let us see, the solar radiation can be classified into two types, namely terrestrial radiation and extraterrestrial radiation. So the terrestrial radiation means that is the radiation which flows over the earth. The extraterrestrial radiation tells the radiation which is outside the atmosphere. That means at this point, I think the arrow is visible. So the radiation outside the atmosphere, that is 1360 watt per meter square. Generally, someone says that is 1367 watts per meter square. So there will be changes because of the distance between the earth and the sun is not constant. The distance between the earth and sun changes based on the day of the year. So this extraterrestrial radiation will also change based on the day. This particular flux 1360 watt per meter square is called solar constant. And let us get into the measuring instruments. The solar measuring instruments are broadly called as actinometers. So actinometers are measuring instruments used to measure the heating power of radiation. So the radiation is sent by the sun and it will create some heat on the earth's surface. For measuring that heat which is produced by the radiation, we need to have actinometers. So actinometers can be classified into some categories. One is pyranometer, another one is pyrheliometer, and the last one is net radiometers. These are the three types of meters that we are going to see here. But there are some other types of energy meters also exists. Let us see the pyranometer. The pyranometer is a device which is used to measure the solar radiation. So that is a type of actinometer which is used for measuring solar irradiation on a planar surface. The word comes from the Greek words. Pyr means fire and ano means above or sky. So the heat above this sky is measured. So that's why it is called pyranometer. So it is designed to measure the solar flux density in watt per meter square as discussed earlier. It measures from the 0.3 micrometers to 3 micrometers. And one thing we must know is the response to the beam, that means the solar beam, radiation varies with the cosine of the angle of incidence. So it will be flowing over surface. The radiation will be radiating over a surface, that is our solar panel. So that solar panel's response will vary based on the cosine of the angle of incidence. So if the angle of incidence is 0, there will be full response. If the angle of incidence is 90 degrees, there will be 0 response. Similarly, if the angle of incidence is 60 degrees, there will be 50% of response. We know that cos 0 is 1 and cos 90 is 0 and cos 60 is 50 or 0.5. So in order to visualize that, I have taken an image. So here we can see that angle, incident angle theta here. So we have to draw a line perpendicular to or normal to the surface of the solar panel. So the angle between the normal to the solar panel and this line which is from the sun is called incident angle. So if the sunlight itself normal to the solar panel, the angle will become 0. So that is the case of the first thing. If the angle is 0, there will be full response. Full response means the sun will be directly radiating over the panel in 90 degrees. So that means the incident angle is 0 and the response will be full. So if the angle differs, if the angle is 60 degrees, there will be 50% response, and if the angle is 90 degrees, there will be 0 response. So if it is 90 degrees means sun will be blowing from somewhere here. Okay, then go to the classification of pyranometers. So pyranometers can be generally classified into two different types. As we have seen earlier, pyranometer is actually an instrument which comes under actinometers. In pyranometer itself, there are two types of technologies to measure the temperature, to measure the solar radiation. So one such technology is thermopile technology. So thermopile is nothing but a collection of thermocouples. So here we can see there is a cluster of thermocouples which are connected in series. So the thermocouples are connected in series here. So what happens? The top surface is exposed to the heat flux, that is the radiation from the sun, and the bottom surface is insulated. Here we can see thermal resistance layer is there. So as it is thermal resistance layer, the heat will not be transmitted from top side to bottom side. So bottom side will be a cold surface or a reference temperature will be there. The top surface will be heated by the solar radiation. As there is a difference in temperature, based on Seebeck effect, there will be a voltage will be generated. So that voltage can be measured here. So here we can see del V. Del V is the change in voltage. So that voltage can be measured based on the temperature input, temperature difference there, that is del T. So higher the del T, higher the del V. Higher the temperature differences, higher the voltage difference. So the voltage difference is measured, or the potential difference is measured, and based on the voltage it will be converted into the radiation. So it will give us the amount of radiation. So this is one such technology, and the second technology is silicon semiconductor technology, that is a direct conversion of photons into electricity. So as we have seen in the solar photovoltaic system, it directly converts the energy into radiation into electric energy. So by that it measures the solar radiation. So this is a standard solar cell, that is silicon semiconductor technology. And then as we have seen, this thermopile technology is otherwise called thermoelectric technology or thermoelectric pyranometer, and the silicon technology is otherwise called photoelectric pyranometer, because the first technology works based on the temperature difference and the second technology works based on the light. The light is directly converted into electrical energy. So this thermoelectric pyranometer or the thermopile pyranometer has a very wide spectrum. Here we can see it measures the solar radiation from 300 nanometer to 3000 nanometer. It can also measure up to 50,000 nanometers. So this is the wide range. We can see this much of wide range is measurable by using a thermopile manometer, that is shown in the light sky blue color. If you see the photovoltaic pyranometer, that is in the dark blue color box. So there we can see the spectrum is very less. So very small spectrum can be measured by the photovoltaic pyranometer. Then these are the parts of a pyranometer. This is a thermoelectric pyranometer, that is thermocouple or thermopile based pyranometer. So here we can see the important components are the component 4, that is a black detector. The black detector is connected to the thermopiles. So that thermopile will get heated because of this black detector, and we can see glass domes. The glass domes are used to limit the radiation in up to 2800 nanometers. So if the glass is not there, it will measure more than 2800 nanometers. So for limiting the spectrum, we are using these glass domes. And we can see the sunscreen and desiccant indicator. That means we are in order to remove the moisture inside the system, there will be desiccant, and there is a leveling bubble level. So in order to in order to see whether it is leveled properly, we can see just like a spirit level, and we can see a stand that is 9 leveling feet. We can adjust that size, adjust the height of that in order to position in a level. And we are seeing the connectors, and from this we have to measure the output. Then one more type of measuring instrument is pyrheliometer, as we have seen earlier. So one is pyranometer, another one is pyrheliometer. The main difference between this pyranometer and pyrheliometer is this pyranometer can measure direct radiation or beam radiation. Direct radiation is otherwise called beam radiation. So the pyranometer can also measure direct radiation and diffused radiation, whereas this pyrheliometer measures only the beam radiation. It measures only the direct radiation, so it will not measure diffuse radiation. So that is the main difference between this pyranometer and pyrheliometer, whereas the working principle are more or less the same. There will be a thermophile. So here we can see a glass window is there here. So in the right hand side we can see the glass window. Through the glass window, the direct beam will be accepted within an acceptance angle. And at the bottom we can see the same type of thermopile. So the thermopile will measure the temperature difference, and it will tell the voltage, and the voltage will be converted into here the radiation. So this is how the radiation is measured. In the left hand side we can see at the pyranometer. In the right hand side we are seeing a pyrheliometer. Here we can see a very big glass dome. This pyranometer can measure diffused radiation and direct radiation combinedly, and it measures up to an angle of 180 degrees, whereas here the angle is very limited and it will measure only direct radiation. So this is the difference between a pyranometer and pyrheliometer. So this pyrheliometer is generally fitted into the solar tracking system in order to track the sun. Here you can see a man who is fitting that pyrheliometer over a solar tracking system. So the solar tracking system follows the sun's position. So if the sun is here, it has to be directed towards the sun. If the sun is moving like that, the tracking system will follow the sun. So that we can measure the direct radiation. Otherwise, we cannot measure the direct radiation all the time. So this is how we have to use a pyrheliometer in order to measure the direct radiation. So pyrheliometer measures only direct radiation. And the last type that we are going to see is net radiometer. So the term says this is net radiometer. Net means generally we can see the gross weight and net weight. What is the meaning of gross weight and net weight? Gross weight is the overall weight of the component. Net weight means by neglecting the packaging and all. So here the other pyranometer and pyrheliometers measures only the receiving radiation, whereas net radiometer measures the incoming radiation as well as upgoing or outgoing radiation from the earth. That is because of diffusion or reflection. So some amount of energy will be redirected to the atmosphere from the earth. So this net radiometer measures the difference between downcoming radiation and also the outgoing radiation from the earth. So it gives the difference between these two things. That's why it is called net radiometer. Thank you.